Welcome to the Huddle. We're here at Douglas High School. We're with the Edgar Chin Third Annual Cancer Showcase. I'm here with Potomac head coach, my man, Mr. Johnson, Renard Johnson. So look, before we dive into this game a little bit, we want to talk about how special this game is. Last year, you guys kind of got into a squabble. That's why this was called the war, the battle of both ends, right?
Yes.
So last year was very intense. They had to stop the game. Nobody knew this game. Bird snuck this game in, right?
Yes.
So first talk about why is this game so special?
Couple things. I knew Mr. Chin, so the event is very special for me. I was friends with him. I actually saw him and spent some time with him 3 months before his death. It caught me off by surprise, but I'm honored to be here. As far as the game, what makes it special is Rob Nickens and I are very good friends. Okay, I really respect what he does in the community, and for the last 4 years, we've found a way to play a game, whether it was at each other's house or in a showcase event. Playing him in this event was predicated on me coming to this event. I was invited to multiple events, but when he said, hey, let's meet at Berg's event, I said, let's do it, let's get it on. And it was just like a fight. It was, Berg was Don King, I was Muhammad Ali, and he was Joe Frazier, and I said, let's get this Rumble in the Jungle on.
Absolutely. So
Thriller
that's what we
Manila.
call it. Yeah,
Yes,
whatever
sir.
you want to call it. It was a fight.
Yes,
So
sir.
let's talk about the first quarter. A very defensive match game, very intense. You got a technical and you got an intentional foul in the first quarter. The score ended up being 13-12 in the first quarter. You edged over 1 point. What was the mindset coming out in the first quarter?
Let's fill them out. They've been used to playing against a lot of man-to-man. I play a complicated zone. You may not recognize it, but it's hard to play against that zone. And when we play some early opponents such as Potomac and Virginia, who's a very smart team, when they couldn't figure it out, I was like, let's ride this for a while. And so we want to fill them out, see if they can make shots. We know they're capable of making shots. And some of the shots didn't go, so we kind of lucked up a little bit to have a 1 point advantage. Both teams, the intensity was so high.
Yes.
And I think both teams were kind of gassed, but both teams gave it their all from minute one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so going into the second quarter, you guys kind of got a stretch. You had a 20-point lead as far as the stretch. So you guys ended up with 38-31 going into halftime, right?
Yes.
Now, the second quarter, I think you guys got a little comfortable. You started hitting your shots. You was getting into your set. You actually ran a 3-2 zone.
Yes.
And you mentioned that earlier. Why did you decide to go on a 3-2 zone versus a man-to-man, which they played you guys in?
Because, like I said, I've watched them. Of course, I saw them play against Ballou just before this game this week, and they felt uncomfortable when Ballou went into zone. When they were in a man, they were running. They looked like the Harlem Globetrotters. So my thing is, I left the ego in the locker room. I said, hey, if I could be the guy playing the zone, that's what I'm gonna try to do. There were times we did a matchup man, and it was disguised as the same 3-2 zone, but we were actually in a man, and they didn't figure it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So halftime score is, well, we got 38-31,
Yeah.
right? Now, you're going into the locker room. I want to hear the speech, or basically what were you telling the guys? Both records on the line. You're both undefeated. They're 14-0. You coming in at 8-0. What was the halftime speech?
So it's like 15 rounds of boxing, and we're going in at 8 rounds being done. They actually hit a 3 to get the momentum. We were up by 10. They hit a 3 after we didn't get that 50-50 ball, so I was hot because I felt that we could get it up by 10. It play with the psychic, just like in boxing. So you have a 10-9 round, you come back out. So I'm thinking we get in, play the first 2 minutes well, we got them. And they came back to haunt us because we got – we'll get to the third quarter. All right.
Let me do this interview, man. So we come out third quarter, right? And they come out with a 5-point stretch.
Yes.
They hit you early. They got their second win in the fight.
Yes.
You called the timeout. What did you say in the timeout to rile the troops back into the game?
So I said, look, guys, I told y'all this isn't a basketball game. This is a heavyweight fight. We gave them our best. They gave us our best. We took their best. Now let's give our best again. And I honestly was just talking in fight terms. Not that we were doing anything violent, but I was just letting them know the ebbs and flows were going to happen. There's mindset. And then you had to just toughen it up. And, we're right on the D.C. line. And I tell these guys, I said, man, these are uptown guys, not being disrespectful, but, we're the downtown guys. We're the guys that are the more gritty guy, perception-wise. So let's play it. Let's out-tough them.
Yeah, and you definitely see that on the floor, the 50-50 balls in the second half. So you guys came out, and started shooting the little threes. Everybody got comfortable. So do you allow everybody to have a free will at their shot, or do you want to go through your sets first? Everybody needs to touch the ball. Because even Corey was shooting threes.
Right.
The center got a chance to shoot a couple threes.
So here's the thing. I played at Potomac. We used to play at the gym. This is a shooter's gym. That basket is a shooter's basket. And I told them, hey, look, man, that thing is wide. The lighting is perfect. I mean, it's just, I said, if you got it, pulling the nets up here. I just love that basket. So you see we didn't shoot that many in the first half. Number 5, he does have the green light, Dwayne Mason, because he's the hardest worker. He's in there at 6 in the morning shooting hundreds of jump shots. So he can shoot while he's on the bench if he wants to. The rest of them, I'm like, you missed that. Like, you coming out. But Corey felt it. He's earned it. He needs to stretch his game out a little bit. And they were playing him. His guy was on the baseline, so he had to shoot it.
Okay, so now we're going into the fourth quarter. 64-45. You got a nice, comfortable cushion, but you didn't left the foot off the pedal. Still smashing them. You even started getting up early, a little half-court press, so to speak, picking up, disguising. So I'm looking at you as you call a timeout, and you still had this intense vibe on your face. Your glasses fell off, like you were really in the fight. So what was the motivation going into the fourth, even though you were up in a comfortable lead?
If I told you this, you wouldn't believe it. In 2012, we played Eleanor Roosevelt in the county championship. They ended up winning by 1 on a dunk at the buzzer. And one of my players is one of my assistant coach, and he was on that team. He said, Coach, remember every time we let off the gas, what has happened to us? I said, yep, the other Roosevelt. I said, let's go get him. And that was the motivation behind us. We're not taking the foot off the gas. That game still haunts me. Yeah.
Okay, so now we're getting towards the end of the game. Corey has now hit 3 threes back-to-back. Everybody's feeling good. It's a dunk fest. What's going through your head as you see and you look up at the final, 99-60?
What I was thinking right there is, man, we got a 12-cylinder outfit, and we only got 6 cylinders. I'm like, man, this is not my team yet. This is like we have a history after we play y'all once, and it gets to February. We have a history of not losing much in February and those sorts of things. So I'm like, this is still not what I want it to be. Because, like I said, we don't do fall league. You know, my guys was just playing football a month ago. And so we barely been together. So I'm like, I want to really see it in February, just like I talked to you about. I said, check me out in February via text.
Yeah, those ratings going to look a little different on Monday. So, look, man, congratulations on the victory. Definitely enjoy it. You guys definitely play hard, practice hard. And always a lot of respect for supporting the huddle.
Hey, man, you're welcome, and thanks for having us. And come to Potomac anytime you want. I'll even feed you.
Hey, we get to eat. We'll
oh,
be
is this on tape? Don't hold me to that. I was just kidding. Nah, thanks.
Welcome to the huddle.